Hi, Lara. Thank you so much for joining us today. How are you doing?
Hello, Lucas. I'm doing great. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great too. It's a pleasure to have you here on our Color Visions interview.
My pleasure.
So, to start, what color could define your mood in this moment?
Um, right now, I would say green.
Green.
Yeah, because at the same time, I like that. um, because I feel the connection with nature a lot lately. And you can see here, I have trees around me.
That's beautiful.
I'm seeing them, so I think they influence me. They're big and strong, and like Mama Nature is. And I get inspired a lot by trees and nature in general.
That's awesome. So, I wanted to ask you, what memory would this color trigger for you?
Hmm, that's a good question. I was with my family in California 2 years ago, and we were just a part of my family lives next to, it's not a mountain, yeah, it's a mountain, and we would go there, walk there, do meditation together, yoga together, and it's an awesome memory. And my kid was, we were all barefoot on the grass, and it's a very peaceful moment. And then we were like dancing on the mountaintop in the grass. So it reminds me of that. It was a very happy moment for me.
That's awesome. That's a great memory. And you talked about your family and everything. What is your passion in life? What moves you?
I would say it's creating new things, um, just the materialization of a thought. I think it always amazes me. So I think about something and I have an idea, even though it doesn't always like then
Yeah,
will end up in something.
of course.
Um, but I love that. It always amazes me. Like it gives me a lot of energy every time I have an idea, and then I start writing down, scratching, I'm painting. I start going in magazine, like cutting stuff.
It's starting to build up.
Yeah. And then I think about people that would be good for the project and how to include them there. And it doesn't always end up in something, but just the process of a creation. This is what just gives me a lot of passion.
That's awesome. And so you talked about the creation and creating projects and everything. What exactly do you do in life? What is your field of expertise?
So I've been a salesperson for the last 13 years, sales and manager. I've done different things. I've sold different things. So I started in a shop in Spain, in a tiny shop that I loved so much. And a client entered, he was selling hardware in IT and told me, hey, you should come in the company. I started to do wholesale um, between Europe and Africa. And then I built an import-export department, and I've been a headhunter. Uh, and then I worked in tech, and I've sold software for and opened new countries for the last couple of years. And now I am the CEO of our company. We are three co-founders, and we are building a tool for the salespeople, personal assistant in the smartphone. So this is what we're doing right now. So as I told you, I love creation. So right now we are creating that mobile app, and I'm just thrilled about it.
That's not only an awesome career path, but you're doing like staying in the sales world and doing what you love. It's awesome.
I love
Okay.
that.
And now more personally on the current situation that we're living, the pandemic, how are you personally living it? How are you doing with it?
Uh, so I don't have the tendency of complaining. So I always try to figure out, okay, what are going to be my new routines and what can benefit me from this pandemic. So actually I'm not having a hard time. Sometimes it's harder because we're living in a different house. We're living with my parents right now, so it's something I didn't do since like the last 15 years. So I need to get back to that. So it's not always easy, but I think it's also good. I can see the impact on nature. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing everybody kind of figure out that we don't need that much. Sure. Okay, you can buy some clothes or do some stuff, but you don't need to go, for example, out all the time. You also figure out who you're really missing. I think that's a really good point. Like, who are you really missing, and who do you feel like talking to and calling? And maybe sometimes we like have everybody pull you in different directions, and this is like, we're always here. There is no direction to be pulled to you. So you can, I think for me at least, it's figuring out what's really important, who is really important, and just having a collective break.
Yeah, introspection.
Oh yeah, and I love that. I think we all needed that. I think we secretly all wanted that, even though it's not always fun. I get it. And I think it's not the case for everyone. My only problem with the pandemic is just thinking about people that are in very tiny places, or are living with people that are mentally not healthy. I think that's my only problem, is that when I think about kids that have parents that are violent, or in every kind of violence included, women, even men, I mean, just people that are stuck with people that have a mental health problem, I just think about that. It's my biggest bother. Yeah. But beside from that, I think it's a good experience.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good for you, and that's great to hear. And yeah. So what comes after this? What do you see for the aftermath of the pandemic? What do you think the world needs after this?
I think nobody can predict the future. I think we can all be the future together. Everybody can add a little stone to the mountain that's in front of us, but I don't think nobody can predict it. So the only thing I can tell you, my wish is that everybody get out of this moment, be more peaceful, again, knowing what's important for them, and not forgetting that we need nature, we need trees. So just respect that, respect ourselves and respect others and respect nature. So I just wish it just help us like remember that, because now everybody's hearing the birds. Like we forgot it. And now we hear the birds, we hear the rain, we see like animals that go out of the forest and they are like free. And I wish everybody's gonna remember that. But I cannot know what's gonna happen after. Maybe everybody's gonna go back life as usual. It's cultural too, so I don't know.
Well, you talk about maybe going back to life as usual, but do you think that maybe this crisis could create new values for our society and maybe change the way humans interact?
I think there are two things. There are business-wise and personal life-wise. I think in the personal aspect of things, what can change is that people had to learn to live together.
Sure.
Sometimes we don't take the time to learn to live together. And I would think, for example, about young couples that never take the time to live together. They go to work and then they come back, and after a while they realize they weren't made for each other, or they didn't learn to live together. So I think personally it's cool, because I had to learn to live with my parents again. When I was a teenager, I didn't care about like living with them, or now I had to accept everyone like is different. So I think this is one good thing. And then business wise, I think that many things will change or should change. I mean, we realize that working from home is okay. We realize that mothers are doing a lot of stuff to have a house run. Not like, okay, there are some dads too, but just on a general aspect of things, we realize what it's what it's like to take care of the kids and take care of the house and clean and prepare the food and work. So I think many parents now realize that, and many companies too. So business-wise that, and then on the sales in particular, because I interact with a lot of salespeople and their managers, I think like what I love about sales is that it's a human job. It's the job where you meet the most people. So just general empathy towards your clients, really like knowing them and knowing what their struggles are and their goals are, and really about, I think sales should always be about helping people to reach their goals, and that's it. It shouldn't be about like earning the most money. Okay, you will get money at the end, and it's fantastic, and it's an amazing driver, because money is an energy as any other energy.
But the more you're helping clients, the more money you will get.
Yeah, so now you have to listen to them, because there are in many like companies are in trouble. So you can call them and say, hey, how are you doing? Like, I want to take care of my clients, and business wise, this is what's going to be important. And also management and teams, now they do daily calls instead of weekly calls, and they try to find solutions together instead of just saying you should do this or you should do that. Let's work together.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I love that.
I was going to ask you about the idea you had around businesses changing their practices after the pandemic, which you already kind of answered. But do you see maybe leaders even focus more on their employees' well-being?
I think they realize that's important. I think they became all more comprehensive just because we're all in the same situation. Even if though the situations are slightly different, you have children, you don't have children, you have a partner, you don't have a partner. But it's just kind of puts everybody more on the same level, because at least we're all stuck in our homes. So I think that's good to remember that we're all like, and even for employees to realize also that managers are equal to them. It's just a thing about, we just have all different assets and capabilities, and being in the same situation reminds you that we're just human, like all of us. And yeah, the well-being is super important for employees, of course. Like any company would tell you, if your employees are happy, your clients are happy, and your business is doing good. If you have stressed out people, it gives bad results.
Absolutely. And so we talk about the brand, about the companies, businesses specifically. Do you think brands will also change the relationship with the customers, and how maybe the experience for the customer could change after this?
Obviously, they will go more digital. So this is one of the things that will change too, because certain stuff has to be done digitally now.
Sure.
So this is one of the things that will change a lot in the relationship. And it can be well done, it can be not well done. But if it's well done, everybody's going to appreciate that. So I think companies that put a lot of effort in having amazing digital interaction, it's good. Yeah, that's like, also, I'm telling you, a little bit of empathy. I don't think, like, I love that. Like, I love kindness. And sometimes I look like Alice in Wonderland, but I don't care. Like, I love being kind. And I think, and it's not being kind for being kind. It's just because I want to go to paradise. It's just because it gives a good energy. And I think, you know, I love the third law of Newton, you know. So all the energy that you create is going to come back to you. So you'd rather create an amazing energy that's peaceful, collaborative, and you will get that back. And we would be in a better like circle altogether.
Absolutely. And to get a little deeper in what you just said about the digital world, how do you visualize the digital transformation that we're going through?
That's a good question. I would say first content. Create content that is genuine. There's not any content. It's genuine from what your experience is, from what people think. I think content is underrated because it's just done by marketing, which I love. I love marketing teams, but I think inside of the companies, you have people that should express themselves because they have good ideas, because they have good processes, because they have good habits, and this would make your content amazing. So the first thing would be content. And then on the digital interactions, I would say the more you can work in with companies that have the values of the, like they're customer centric, and their value will be, I want my customer to be at ease with my product, or to be at ease with my employees. So I would say put a lot of energy in having your clients satisfied, your users satisfied. Just listen to them.
Right. Well, Lara, thank you so much. This was very insightful. It was great for you to share your vision with us. A real pleasure.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
So take care. Be safe.
Take care too. And thank you for the beautiful colors.